This is a Majesty 120. You may have seen one of these on the channel before, but not quite like this one. This one is a custom build specifically to owner requirements, starting with this beautiful metallic silver color scheme. That looks really good, doesn't it, rather than the usual white. But also the interior. You'll see as we go around, there's been a few changes. There's a really, really nice setup to the interior as well in terms of the color schemes. It's a very, very smart yacht, and we're going to go into every area of it. We'll look at the guest areas, the crew areas, look at the engine space, the bridge, the decks, everything. And we're going to slip through here. We're at a boat show, there's a few people about, so we're going to keep the camera pointed down for a moment. And I'll take you straight on inside, hit this button here, and we will start with the first wow. Wow, look at that. That, I think you'll agree, is pretty special. I love this bar area, the way they've done this around here, and the color scheme is very light finish. It's light and it's bright and it's superb. Now, if you remember the other video, or even if you don't, you might be expecting to find a dining area at this end. That's what they normally have. This owner has chosen to have this whole area as one big entertaining space. And that does look really good, doesn't it? And what they've done then, look at this massive TV on this wall, is if we go forward and around here, they have changed the galley to become more of a country kitchen style of thing. The feeling is very much that the party always ends up in a kitchen. Let's make it a kitchen worth ending up in. This is spectacular. So this, unlike most of these where this is very much a dedicated crew space, this is very much designed to be part of the living space of the boat. It's for entertaining, it's for dining together. It's just a lovely, cozy area. Of course, it's all fully functional. We've got refrigeration everywhere, storage, all that kind of stuff. But it's a very, very beautiful area. And as I said right at the beginning, it's important to remember that this is a custom setup. This is not the standard boat. If you want something different, talk to Gulf Craft and they will build you the Majesty 120 of your dreams. This is the Majesty 120 of this owner's dreams. This is what they wanted. This is exactly what they've got. Let's press on a bit further. Loads more to see. You can go through this way if you want to, but I think what I'll do is I'll take you round and show you everything. Look at the finishes on here. It is just delightful. And you can see it here as well, these wall coverings. Again, it's all very much owner specification. A tiny little bit of flicker there, frustratingly, but it's not happening in real life. There we go, that's through from the galley, so you can come direct into this lobby area if you want. We've got the stairs down, we've got the stairs up. We're going to go forward first of all. I'm going to show you the owner's cabin, and then we'll go and look at those areas. There is day heads here, and you'll notice that lit up as we came in. These are on sensors, so as you come in to use them, it all lights up and welcomes you. Very nice, isn't it? And then in here, similar kind of deal. You might have seen that light up then as we came in. And if we come forward again, check this out. Again, it's pale, it's comfortable, it's relaxing. It's just a really, really nice place to be. There we go. You might have noticed these fellows lighting up. If we come forward again, the doors on here, of course, they're open at the minute, which is why it sensed us and lit up. Clearly, you'd normally have those shut at night. And an interesting thing here is that we've got, of course, the loo in behind here, usual things. And then there's a massive shower in the centre. And if we cross over, you can see it there as well. And from here, however, there is a button you can press, and I'm not sure where it is, and all of that goes completely opaque. These windows, the other windows, so you've got complete privacy there. If you want it, you can have it open if you prefer. There we go. I love this dark wood. I think it's Macassar, I'm not certain, but I've learned to say that word recently, so I'm using it as much as I can. Let's press on. Look at the detail here with this. It's beautiful. Lots more to see. Dressing room here, did I show you that? I'm not sure, but that's where that is. Massive hanging rail along there. Shelving. drawers, the safe, all that kind of stuff. That's all tucked away just there. If we come on back, again, you might see that light up as we come. We'll head on down. Again, there's been some changes down here. So what we have is 2 cabins back here. This is fairly standard. And these are just big guest cabins, basically. Big, comfortable, roomy guest cabins. We've got wardrobes here, like so. Drawers under the bed. AV equipment, storage all the way along here, usual kind of stuff. Big hull windows, look at these. Fabulous. And then the ensuite. Again, the shower and the loo and all the bits and pieces that you would expect. Mirror wave, and a very similar deal opposite. So if we come around here, that of course is the door that closes this cabin off. And this is pretty much a mirror of it. Here we go. Again, the wardrobe's not going to open at all. Again, the storage. Again, the ensuite. But where this layout differs is when we go further forward, because there's, as I say, those 2 there. There is another cabin with twin beds in here, and a Pullman. Wardrobes in behind the door, and the ensuite is here. So that again, still fairly normal. Where it changes is here, because this owner's chosen to have this like a separate apartment. So it's like a sort of a 2-bed apartment through this door. Brilliant for families. So what you've got is this lovely big space here. You've got an ensuite. Let's go through and have a look. Through here, big wardrobes, of course. And the loo, and the basin, and the shower. But forward of this, there's another room. So this all becomes one connected area. If I stand still enough, maybe that'll stop flashing. Or maybe it'll get worse. Let's keep going. There we go, look at that. So this is all part of the same area. Remarkable. Do you know, I set this up for USA phasing to stop the pulsing. It was pulsing, so I thought, oh, it must be European phasing. So I changed to European phasing, and that's what we've got. Did try, I promise. Anyway, it's not too bad, is it? So yeah, this has its own ensuite here. It's remarkable, isn't it? There we go, that's better. I think what happens sometimes is if the lights are dimmed very slightly, then it just upsets the phasing a little bit, because that's how LEDs work. The dimming works by the fact they actually flicker on and off really, really fast, and when you slow them down, they just flicker on off slightly slower. Anyway, enough technical gabble. If I'm not careful, people think I know what I'm talking about. So that's really interesting. To make that a little apartment of its own right is very curious, and in fact, what you can do then, if you want to, is they've put a pocket door here that will slide across, and you can include this in that whole same apartment to make it like a 3-bedroomed apartment at the front of the boat on the lower deck. It's remarkable, isn't it? I've not seen that done before. As I say, owner specification. You might like it, you might not. It's absolutely fine, because you can choose for your yacht what you prefer. But this, as I say, is very much, it's a good example actually of what can be done with regard to owner requirement. It's not just a case of choosing the curtains and the carpets. There's all sorts of things they can change. That's back through to that wonderful country kitchen area, but we're going to go on up, and I'm going to show you the upper deck. There we go, again lighting up for us as we go. We'll go forward first of all. Another change is here. Bridge is where it's always been and needs to be. Obviously full multifunction displays all the way across. Camera system, you can see the depth there, charts, more navigation, all that kind of stuff. That's all displayed, and again you can configure that however you want. We've got engine controls, thruster controls, communications, Usual kind of thing. Little tiny steering wheel, because you don't really use steering wheels on these. You use the engines and the thrusters in port. You use the autopilot when you're out at sea, but nonetheless, there is a wheel should you ever feel the need. Very nice. So that is that. However, what's changed is that normally you would come around here, there would be a door, there'd be the captain's cabin. Now there still is a captain's cabin, but what they've done on this one is they've moved the door back here to here. So the cabin is still there, but it's accessed from this corridor. And the reason for that is that by making this guest cabin standard, this can be an occasional extra guest cabin if it's ever needed, which I think is a brilliant idea. But most of the time that would be a captain's cabin. You've got obviously wardrobes down here. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory, and of course it's ensuite, and that's in here, all nicely lighting up for us again with the separate shower. So a very nice captain's cabin, very nice in fact, but actually a useful extra cabin if it's needed. That takes the cabins up to, well, there's that sort of apartment cabin with the 2 bedrooms at the front. Then there's another one, and then there's 2 more, so that's 5 on the lower deck. There's the owner's cabin, that's 6, and then there's that one, that's 7 cabins potentially. Remarkable. Dayheads is here. There is a Dayheads on the main deck, and I suddenly thought, did I show you, or did I get overexcited and go straight past it? I am just going to really quickly show you in case I didn't, otherwise everybody's been saying, why is there no main deck? Main deck, I think I did show you, didn't I? It's there, right there. What I'll do is I'll check and then I'll edit that out later if I did. I'm not going to, am I? No. Right, back we go. Sky Lounge. It's all so lovely, isn't it? We've got a retracting TV over on this side. And yeah, just a wonderful chill out zone. Bar over here, as you can no doubt see for yourself. Nicely lit, nicely proportioned, and beautifully upholstered. I love all this. Look at the feature panel on here, look at the floor. Look at the wood. They've done a fabulous job. Let's press on. Much more to show you. We'll hit that one and we'll head on out. So big aft deck here, another great dining space on the outside of the boat, and then life rafts are here. This is kept open. There's a crane here, that's not to lift anything onto this deck, that's to lift a tender onto the bathing platform that can then roll into the garage. That's what that's for. And we can go on up again. That's the steps down to the cockpit where we came on. And this will take us up to the sun deck. Check this out. That's fantastic, isn't it? There's a TV that drops out of the ceiling here. There's the bar area, of course. Usual kind of stuff. Fridge. Storage. The sound of a railroad train. Oh, do you know what that is? That's the bridge over there. They're going to raise the bridge. We might see that in a minute. Ice maker. I'm easily distracted. Love this woodwork around here. Look at this. Matched by these chairs. So much detail. And the hot tub then up here at the front. More bits of storage about the place. Sunbathing either side. And we can step up here. Ah, it's not opening, it's just finished being open because the traffic's just started to flow. These are lifting bridges here so that you can get boats through them. There we are. Oh, I thought we were going to see the bridge going up. Anyway, not to worry, we're here to look at a boat. Let me show you on the top. This is the mast with the radars, I should say, and we've got satellite domes up here, we've got antennas, the horn you can see for yourself, all that kind of stuff. GPS antennas, communications antennas, everything like that, that's all up there on the top. Fantastic. Back here, more sunbathing. A tremendous view. Imagine if you're out at anchor or cruising, you're just watching the wake rolling away behind. Fabulous. And we'll head on back down and I'll take you around to the front, and then I'll take you back and we'll go and look at the engine room. And I think we've got crew spaces to do, haven't we? There we go, Majesty Yachts, fabulous. Let's come right up. This is taking us past the bridge, so this door here is back into the bridge area. In fact, you can see it probably just there. And then look at this for a lovely area up from the bow. Again, brilliant when you're cruising because you can just watch the world unfurl ahead of you. There's storage in places like this, and then more lovely sunbathing, which you can shade if you wish, as we've done today. Right up on the bow there's another crane because you can put your personal watercraft up here. And the other thing that we've got here, and it is easier to open with two hands, which is why I've done a little b-roll of it, but underneath this is the laundry area. There's a load of storage down there. That again, it's owner configuration, it's what they wanted to have, and so that's how that one's laid out. Crane, as I mentioned, anchor winches, bollards and so forth. Let's come right up to the very bow. Ship's bell, spin on round. There she is. Fabulous. Let's press on back down this side, because what we can do here is head down to the lower deck. These are wing stations here. Look, they've done these with the actual Majesty logo on them. That's the opening section. There we go. Lovely. This, of course, you can close off with this little gate, but this is access, as I say, back down to the main deck. And I'm going to find you access down to the crew area. So let's go all the way back along here. I might put the camera down a little bit here again because we've got clients on board at the minute. So let's just do that for a second. There we go. And I'll take you around this side now, and we will head down here. This then is down to the crew areas. There we go, we've got more laundry facilities here. Got a little mess area, got a sink here as well, and then there are 3 crew cabins. They're all a bit in use at the minute, so we're not going to linger on these at all, but there's that with its ensuite in there, and we've come across, there's another one here with an ensuite and another one here, but as you can see everything's all very much in use, so we're not going to start nosing into those areas. What we are going to do, however, is go this way, because in here is the engine space. Check this out. If you're wondering about these, we're starting to see these more often now. This is part of the new emissions regulations. This is cleaning up the exhaust to make them as emission free as possible. So yeah, they are really doing their bit to try and keep the emissions down as much as they can. We've got massive generators at the back here. We've got access underneath here that takes us back to the stern gear and other bits and pieces through there. But we want to talk about engines, and they're back here. So I'll just point out the water maker since it's there. Engines are down underneath the emissions gear. It's a big wide space, isn't it? Let's come right on around, see if we can see those a little bit better. These, here we go, these white chaps here, they are MTU 16V2000s, M97Ls. They are some horsepower. I just realised I don't know what the horsepower is on these. I'm going to guess at about 2,500, but you'd need to check on that. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll check on that and I'll flash it up on the screen. But my guess is 2,500 horsepower. I can tell you, however, that it's about a 20 knot top speed, perhaps a touch more, and she'll cruise at 12 with a 1,500 nautical mile range. But yeah, I've managed to gloss over that completely. Hopefully you saw it on the screen. There we go. It's all very impressive, isn't it? All very clean, all very lovely. This is this water maker. There we are. So that's the engine space, that's the crew areas. I think the only thing left to talk about is the beach club. We will head down there next. So we'll come back out of here. Put all this across here. Again, camera system about the place so that these things can be monitored remotely. There we go. Back out through here. And we'll head back. Little sink there, it's very helpful when doing rope handling. And then the bathing platform is here. This is a nice piece of kit. This will actually retract completely inside of here, but when it's out, it can be raised up as we've got it here for access onto a quay, or you can send it the other way and it steps down into the water. We've got the passerelle over here, which is where we came onto the boat. That again retracts completely inside. And then finally, we've got this glorious beach club area. Now I mentioned that crane for the tender. The crane, we can see it probably if I go up these steps. There it is, up there. That gets used to lift a tender. It can either just simply sit on this bathing platform, or it can go onto a little trolley that will wheel it back inside. And then you've got this huge clamshell door here that comes down and can close this off. But when it's raised up, we've got this wonderful sheltered zone right down at water level. Just a brilliant, brilliant place to be. And I'm going to take a seat here and relax, because this is the last boat I'm filming here at the Palm Beach Boat Show this year. So I'm now going to head back to the hotel, quick shower, and head for the airport. But that has been fantastic. I'm really, really pleased to be able to bring you that one. It's something that's genuinely different. As I say, have a look at the other Majesty 120. That's a slightly more conventional layout, but it just goes to show what these guys can do to get these boats exactly how people want them. Huge thanks to Majesty Yachts for organising that tour, and huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.